I know. In my last update, I told you guys that this was gonna be the last one until my full collection video. Well, as I've learned in previous years, I shouldn't announce stuff before it's actually done, because it sets expectations and I'm a big disappointment. I've bought too much stuff. I thought I would have more time to, do my collection video during my break, but a lot of things happened. I had to work, and then I had school projects and exams, and it's just, yeah. So I didn't finish recording this video, so what I'll do in that video is I'll just refer to this one for the new stuff. However, I bought more stuff, so I might just, drop everything and just re-record everything. At this point, I'm used to it. I've already recorded like 3 hours of stuff. I can talk a lot. I'm a blabbing, rambling fool. So, yeah, welcome to a new update. I got stuff, and I still have stuff in the mail. It's just that I was busy this week. I didn't have time to record a review, and I wanted to put out a video, and I thought to myself, might as well put out an update because I got a lot of stuff. And it's really hard not to buy a lot of stuff when Vinegar Syndrome is killing the game. They are doing so much amazing stuff, it's truly magnificent. And of course, recently I purchased, I think last month, like up till now I've purchased one thing every month, and this month the stuff is good too, so I might purchase some more. I'm just going insane. Anyways, you guys know I adore Spanish horror, especially the Spanish horror from the 70s, Spanish exploitation. I absolutely adore, obviously Jess Franco being my favorite director, and this is why I bought this. Look, I haven't even taken it out of the seal. That's how like recent I got this week. Don't know if there is an alternative cover. So you have Violent Bath, Knight of the Skull, and the Fish with the Eyes of Gold. I'm not too sure which one is the Franco. Oh yeah, it's Knight of Skull. So yeah, anytime I see some Franco love, especially from Vinegar Syndrome, because their release of two Undercover Angels and Kiss Me Monster, like the transfer, the movies looked great. I do love myself some Franco. And this one's from this Franco film in here. Knight of the Skull is from '74, which is a good year for Franco. Now, us Franco fans, we speak of his films kind of like wine, where we mention the years. Like, 74 was a good year, 73 was the goated year, probably the best year of the Franco. So when your favorite director makes about 6 to 10 movies a year, you really gotta speak of them as if they were a great bottle of wine. 2002, not a good year for Franco. And yes, I know some of you are surprised that he made movies till 2002. He made movies till he died. The man loved the cinema. Anyways, the other films, also directors that I'm sort of familiar with. Pedro Luis Ramirez, I think I am. School of Death, not too sure. Night of the... I'm getting confused. Night of Violent Bloodbath, I think, is the guy that made Blood Spattered Bride, or it stars one of the guy that was in Blood Spattered Bride. Anyways, speaking of Euro cinema, I gotta buy them every time they come out because I absolutely adore this series of box set, and I'm so glad they kept this style. I was kind of worried because recently their box sets have just kind of been a normal slipcover over a bigger slipcover, and not that I don't like it, in fact it saves kind of a lot of space because these are big boys. I just, I like having individual releases for everything because I can take out, that's what I like. They might take more space, and space is the problem of us collectors, but honestly I'd rather lose the space and get like individual covers, like individual Blu-rays for all the movies that are included. I've loved this ever since the DVD era. Those old Shriek Show box sets would come with like individual DVDs. So you got Death Carries a Cane by Maurizio Prado. This one was one that I was unfamiliar with. The Bloodstained Shadow I was familiar with. I own it on a DVD set from Blue Underground. Of course, directed by Antonio Bido. And this one's actually, like, Aldo Bido is a solid, like, underrated giallo director. He made amazing giallis. And Naked You Die, which is the only one out of the set that I've watched, and it is Antonio Margaretti, known for Cannibal Apocalypse, one of the greatest Italian film of the 80s. And this one was actually pretty good. I really enjoyed this. This is from 1968. It has that, like, 60s kind of vibe that I kind of fuck with. Especially, like, 60s European, like, almost comically rich people, because it happens in, like, a private girls' school, and then some murders happen. And, of course, there's a teacher who has sexual intercourse with one of the students, kind of like in, but nobody gives a shit, which is it's always mind-boggling every time I watch an Italian film from the 70s where this plotline of a teacher having intercourse with a student happens, and nobody gives a shit. Like, he doesn't lose his job, he doesn't fucking, nothing, he just continues vibing. But yeah, this is Forgone Giallo 6, the 6, volume 6. I kind of had lost hope for a while that they were gonna stop doing them, because, man, I think that they used to release them like every couple of months, and I think since the last one, it's been a while. Let's just say that. More Vinegar Syndrome, more super weirdo stuff. Now, sadly, this is the only time you'll see me talk about this film. Why? Because they're Indonesian films, and they're from the same goddamn company that made Lady Terminator, which obviously the story that I got shafted last time because my Lady Terminator review got screwed. Santet 1 and 2. I've recently watched the New Moods podcast with the same crew as the Moods and Horror, but a different guy. And they talked about Santet, and it really made me, like, bump it on my watch list. I do adore weirdo Asian cinema, especially Indonesia. Like, those movies from the 80s get so wild, so I wanted really to watch them badly. But then hearing reviews of it made me even thirstier for some Santet 1 and 2. Yeah, these, again, covers, amazing. I don't really care about the slipcovers, you guys know me, but it just happened that everything I got was new. So I got a slipcover for everything I got, because when you get new stuff, you get a slipcover, and if you don't want a slipcover, it's like $2 cheaper, so I'm like, might as well, because I can resell the slipcovers eventually if I get tired. I have, like, goddamn, seeing some slipcover prices, I have like a fucking $50,000 fucking dollars worth of slipcover. Anyways, scared to death. This was in the 10 for $10 sale that they made in the beginning of January. Oh, naughty. And this, I don't know what it is. It is a 80s slasher, which I do appreciate 80s slashers. It is directed by William Malone, which he directed Creature, that I really enjoy, that Vinegar Syndrome also put out. Creature is like this like modern American take on Planet of the Vampires, a classic Mario Bava film, and I like Creature, so pretty excited to see this. Finally, for the VS titles, I had to buy this. You guys know me and my love for Hong Kong cinema, which I have more coming, and I have more in this update, and it is, of course, the VSA or VSU, I don't know, VSA, okay, yeah, VSA, release of Black Cat 1 and 2. Black Cat, the franchise, well, the two films, are kind of these takes from Hong Kong, from the Hong Kong perspective on the femme fatale genre that was kind of really popular and popularized by movies like La Femme Nikita by Luc Besson. So yeah, gonna be pretty interesting to see. Again, listening to that Moods podcast, they did review this, and it does sound pretty fun. I've heard that they're good, but they're like not mind-blowing, which it's okay. Not every movie I buy needs to be mind-blowing. or else I'd be sad a lot because I buy a lot of movies, and if I expected all of them to be like perfect 10s, would kind of be unrealistic expectations. But you know who is a solid 10? The cast of Robotrix. So John from the Sigan Cinema talk a lot. He is kind of my Hong Kong plug, you know, telling me about the good Hong Kong flicks, especially that 88 films release. And I have another one in the mail that I might get this week. And I have a package from the Sigan Cinema boy, which if I get this week, I'll just do an unboxing video. Yeah, so 90s exploitation from Hong Kong, category 3, of course. Apparently this is sleazy as hell. It stars Amy Yip, which for people who aren't familiar with, when you see that name, you buy the movie. About a cyborg, it's this sci-fi rapist thing. I don't know, I haven't seen it yet, but it sounds completely insane, and just from the pictures on the back, it's like a mix of if RoboCop was kind of like a sleazy Hong Kong exploitation film. So yeah, pretty cool. Back on my grind of Jesus films, we got The Girl from Rio on 4K. I got this for a really good price. The Girl from Rio was never a film from Jess Franco that I was like, you know, fiending for. Just because it's similar to the movie I showed earlier, Two Undercover Angels and Kiss Me Monster. This is late 60s, obviously post Dr. Orloff, because that was 62. But like that was when, yes, Franco had more budgets, had bigger budgets, but he was also like working on like a multitude of films, and he didn't really find like his footing until the years of like the Vampiros Lesbos and She Killed in Ecstasy. So I do love a lot of his 60s stuff, like the Eugenie, the woman, the 99 Women I adore. So I do love the 1969 stuff. But this is like in this vein of like a Dr. Diabolique kind of take, groovy James Bond, in that vibe of like goofy, groovy spy thriller from the 60s, which I do love Danger Diabolique from Mario Bava, and I did really like Girl from Rio. It is plastered through and through with Jess Franco-isms. I really love it, and it comes with a riff tracks, commentary track if you're into unfunny people making unfunny jokes about movies. I've just described my channel. Why are you here? On 4K, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. I was honestly surprised on how much I enjoyed this, knowing that it wasn't my favorite genre. But yeah, just gonna switch between like old and new. Overlord. I saw this in the theater when it came out. And again, I was listening to old like Moods podcasts, and it was on somebody's top 10 list of 2018. And I remember and I was like, damn, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a movie that really made a splash when it came out, but like people forgot it existed. And it's a really interesting take on the whole Nazi doing supernatural or weird like experiments on people, which is always a topic that fascinates me because I did write like a story in high school about that. So that aspect of like the occult kind of conspiracy theories with Nazism has always like fascinated me. And I feel like this is a good take on that concept, and it's a really entertaining mix of horror and action movie. It kind of reminded me of the Resident Evil movies, but like good. So yeah, Overlord, really enjoy this one. I've been on a kick of Bruno Mattei action films. I usually watch them like when I work out on like the Saturday mornings that I work out. And I don't know, this year I watched Strike Commando twice. I watched Strike Commando 2, which is not as good, and I'm pretty sure it stars the same guy as this film. He just doesn't have the charisma that, or as the kids say, the riz of Reb Brown. So that just didn't work as good for me, especially because it's like a continuing sequel of the first one, and it's not the same guy, and you're like, Bruno, you could have at least tried. But Born to Fight is another thing entirely. I do adore this film. Of course, it's screenwritten by Claudio Fargasso, and the actor, what's Brett Huff? I think, yeah, Brent Huff, who plays in this film. I love the names, they're so silly. Shit, they don't say the name. But yeah, like, it's basically like Rambo 3, I think. I don't know. It's just so goofy. It's a goofy ass, stupid 80s manly, over-the-top action film by Italians. It's great. Don't think it, don't say it. No, it's not the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man. Although I will be getting probably the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man eventually, because me and Urshel want to do an episode on the podcast on the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man. For people who are unfamiliar, the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man is a meme. It's the Bye Bye Man. It's just every time I think of the Bye Bye Man, it reminds me of Candyman. So, for the first time ever in my life, I watched the original Candyman recently, and I absolutely adored it. It was like a 10 out of 10 on the first watch, which is rare for me. Absolutely adored it. And then I remember there was a remake, and actually people seemed to really enjoy the remake. So especially like people who like the original seem to very much enjoy the remake. So I'm like, damn, did Hollywood pull off like a good remake, which they have been in the past. This is another movie that kind of just came in and faded out of like people's memory, and I got it on like clearance for $7.98, which in Canada that's as cheap as like a new movie will ever get. So yeah. Oh boy, yeah, I'm gonna start with the first one, because I bought this finally. I finally got a copy of Terrifier. It's so funny, like, that this is a really divisive movie. And I understand the second one being divisive. This is literally the most, like, average, middle-of-the-road, like, unoriginal slasher. And I mean, that's probably why people don't adore it. But, I mean, it's not, like, trying anything new, but it kind of basks in its own mediocrity. It's a good movie. I finally admitted that I like it, but I mean the concept, the plot, the lack thereof, just everything about this movie is what it is, and does a good job at just being this very simple concept, very simple execution, very simple film, which is why it's good. It doesn't need to be more than just a slasher about a clown that kills people during one night. Like, that's it. So it's a good movie. I'm just saying that it knows that it's pretty just, that's what it is, and it likes that. It's like, we know we're just a typical, very like average slasher, and we're just gonna take advantage of that and make it as good as we can. So that's my take on Terrifier 1. And I showed it because my brother bought me for my birthday Terrifier 2, which is the complete opposite of Terrifier 1. I do like Terrifier 2. I'm not sure if I like it more than the first. I feel like they're both, like, they're two different films. They're both completely different in every aspect, as in the first one is just your typical A to B slasher. This tries new things. This attempts creativity in some sorts, in some way, which I appreciate, because in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, and I have to state this because people will lose their minds in the comments being like, this movie's actually pretty bad. We know you don't like it. This is my channel. These are my thoughts. I know you don't like it. To me, it's a completely different film. It attempts something, at least. Does it successfully accomplishes everything it attempts? Absolutely not. But so do most movies. A lot of movies, especially high concept movies like these, attempt a lot of things, and they don't actually succeed in a lot of those, but at least they attempted. I appreciate that the director went from, a kind of plotless A to B slasher to this over-the-top experimentation, weirdo supernatural subplot of of enormous magnitude. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. All of that to say, I'm pretty excited to see the third one, and now I finally own both, because I own two on digital, and the first one I just watch on Tubi because it's the most like Tubi movie ever. I'm pretty sure Tubi was created for Terrifier to be on a streaming service. Jungle Holocaust, a rare upgrade for me. I was recently, again, listening to the Moods podcast. They talked about this in their Deodato episode. And at the beginning of the year, especially in January, I was in a Deodato mood. I watch a lot of his films, and this was one of them. And then I realized through that podcast and through realizing that my edition, which was the Shriek Show edition, was cut. And that's not cool. I don't like cut movies. I don't like edited down. I want the full cut of a film. So I ordered this, which is the Code Red Blu-ray. It's Code Red. Doesn't have a number usually. I think this was like during the keynote, so they're not numbered spines. And this is the uncensored version, so it's 92 minutes instead of the 88 minute of the Shriek Show. So yeah, nice little upgrade. I have it on Blu-ray now. I don't love Jungle Holocaust, but I do really like it. Now, Urshel introduced me to Cruel Intentions, a 90s rom drama that I didn't think I'd like, and I ended up really liking it. Like, really fucking liking it. It is very 90s. It stars Sarah Michelle Gellar from Buffy fame, I think. Reese Witherspoon, who I had no clue she was. People didn't understand that. I'm like, no, I don't know who Reese Witherspoon is. I'm not a Reese Witherspoon head. And Ryan Philippe. That's a typo. That's the French way to spell Philippe. So yeah, this is a French Canadian DVD. I'm pretty sure the English cover is just on the other side. Yeah, so I'm gonna switch it. The reason why I was so excited for this is because I found it at a goddamn library for $2, and I wanted the first time I watched it after Urshel sold it to us was on a digital download, and I was like, damn, okay, I'm gonna get a physical copy. The Blu-ray is so expensive. Like, all of these are out of print. I was like, damn, I'm never gonna get this on physical media. Unless they re-release it on 4K this year, which Urshel think might happen, I'm not too sure. And about a week later, find this on DVD at a library for $2. So I saved a lot of money, and even though it is on DVD, I can't wait to rewatch it. I love this movie. I'm confused as to why I love it so much, but I love it so. Speaking of DVDs that should be $2, the Women's Camp 119. Now this, people, is why alcohol is bad. Because my ass, I knew these existed. These Desert Island Classic, which might be bootlegs, but they're sold on Amazon, so they're like a gray market. I knew they existed. I've seen them before. I've never bought them, because they look like total crap, and the transfer is probably horrendous, like straight VHS rip. But if you're a VHS collector, hey, that might be your thing. You like not seeing the movies you watch? Buy Desert Island Classics. But I had a couple beers, and I was like, and I'm not even sure if I was talking to somebody about Bruno Mattei, or I just think about Bruno Mattei most of my life. But I thought, SS Girls is amazing. He made another Nazi-exploitation film with, the same actors, basically, because they basically shot them back to back to back. I bought it. And then it came 2 days later, and boy, does it look... It has a code. I should scan it to see if it actually is a barcode. But I'm going to read you the back of the DVD, the plot. Dramatically, a Nazi prisoner is forced to serve as a prison camp's doctor's assistant. That sounds like Emmanuel in prison. Not Emmanuel in prison, but the other Bruno Mattei one, like the caged women, or the yeah, that sounds like another film that Bruno Mattei made. The doctor conducts bizarre human experiments, including trying to cure homosexual men by having nude women dance for them. I love that. That's just a synopsis they give you. They're like, you know, the doctor conducts bizarre experiments trying to cure homosexuals. No other examples. Because that one was silly enough. That's all you need. And finally, my Nikatsu addiction is still not, you know, solved. I won't show these for too long because YouTube. But Female Prisoner 101 suck. Can't show the back. It's a movie. It's a Nikatsu 27. I'm missing a few. My friend John obviously has like almost all of them now. And then we have True Story of a Woman in Jail, Colin, Hell of Love. So that was it, people. That was my March. What? No, February. What day are we? What time is it? Who am I? Where am I? Why do I exist? Why do we all exist? Anyways, I gotta go to school later today on a Sunday. Oh, I'm gonna do a quick thumbnail. I'm gonna AI my face again on Photoshop because I like the meme. Anyways, people, I'll see you out, and maybe next week we'll be back to a regular scheduled review. Hopefully. I have indie movies I need to review. Bye.